Hey everybody, how bad is prison food? Somebody wanted me to do a thing on that, and it's pretty bad. And I heard it's gotten worse. There's a company called Aramark or something like that that's doing the food for the Missouri prisons now, and they say it's worse. I didn't think it could get any worse. But when I first got to prison, they made at Missouri State Penitentiary, they made their own bread, they made their own cookies, and all that was pretty good. Breakfast has always been pretty good as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they can't go too wrong with it. Dry cereal, hot wheat cereal, oatmeal, pancakes, powdered eggs. But at Missouri State Penitentiary, we got real eggs. And on Sundays, we got bacon and eggs. So it wasn't bad then. But I'm telling you all this to give you another reason not to go to prison. I mean, it's the food. Yes, they feed you 3 meals a day. But they're supposed to give you 2,000 calories, and that's if you eat everything on every plate every day. You know, if all day long, if you eat everything on every plate, it's supposed to equal 3,000 calories. I don't think it does. I think people will lose weight. I've seen them lose weight. There's some people that's gained weight though, but I think that's because they was addicted on the streets and stuff, and then they got off when they came to prison. Either way, it's gotten bad. And here's how it works. Most times these days, you got the workers that go in at 3 o'clock in the morning. They start work at 3 o'clock, serving, let's say South Central Correctional Center, serving like 1,500 inmates. Let's use South Central as an example. 6 o'clock they call count. Count clears, around 6:30 they start running the housing units. Now they don't run them, it's not like they let everybody out all at once. They'll start with one housing unit and one wing. They'll say like 6 house, A wing. And they get up there, they'll say 6 house, B wing, until they get all 4 wings done. Then they start on the next house. And they'll try to hurry you up while you're in the chow hall. You know, they give you like 15 minutes or something like that. It used to be like 5. At Missouri State Penitentiary, it seemed like it wasn't, it was just a few minutes and they was running you out of there. Because they had a lot of people they had to feed there. But nowadays they give you about 15 minutes. As people are leaving, other people are coming in. This is the one time too, because most maximum security prisons in Missouri now, you can't see people from other housing units very much unless you go to some program, school, kitchen, or in the chow hall. That's the only time that you can see them. So a lot of people will hang back and wait on other people. It might be they just want to talk to them. It might be they want to get to them. You know, put hands on them. If a fight starts in the chow hall and there's already people eating, they'll come in and, you know, they'll cuff them and everything. Usually they spray mace everywhere. Everybody that was eating get another tray if they want it, because there's a chance of mace and, you know, pepper spray, whatever it is they use on the food. So they let them get another tray. And some people will have just started or we're just about done eating, and oh man, my food. COs know what they're doing. Anyway, you go back to about 8 o'clock, and then 8 o'clock they open the yard and everything. 10:30, run everybody back to the housing units so they can take showers and everything. 11 o'clock it's locked down. 11:30 count clears and it's supper time. They go to supper. I mean lunch, not supper time. Lunch is usually worse than breakfast. Like I said, lunch and supper is usually the worst meals. Breakfast is not that bad. In the same way, it was supper time, 6 o'clock. Well, right after the count, at 4 o'clock they run chow around 4:30 or so, and then like 6 or 6:30 in the evening they'll open the yard, or if it's dark out, they'll just have people in. You can't go outside, you go to the wing, you know, or the gym. And sometimes they'll let you go to the gym until it either gets dark or 9 o'clock. The hole is different. Breakfast is brought around like early in the morning, like 4 o'clock, 4:30, something like that. And they always put extra trays on there. And there's a number of reasons for that. Some trays get dropped, you know, spilt or whatever. And they have these workers. They'll let certain people out of the hole volunteer to work. They ain't getting paid for this. This is just so they can get out of the cell. And they'll pass around the trays and the juice and whatever. If there's any trays left over, the workers can get them. Now breakfast, both in the hole and in population, no matter where you're at in the prison, the coffee is horrible. It doesn't even really taste like coffee. It's like chicory or something. But you get a cup of coffee if you want it, a cup of milk, and then the other 2 meals is juice, like Kool-Aid. That's what you get. Sometimes in the wintertime they'll also serve hot cocoa, and sometimes in the summertimes, if they're feeling generous, there'll be orange juice. But the orange juice thing is very rare. You don't hardly get that. But the food has always been bad. I mean, I've seen things in food as a worker, you know, working back there when I worked in the kitchen. I can't describe it, man. I really can't. But it's another reason not to go to prison, you know. You better hope that if you do, your people are sending you money so you can buy commissary, because this stuff is real bad. And like the Salisbury steaks, really, I mean, they weren't bad. I ate them, but they're not like the Salisbury steaks you get out here. Like I said, pancakes and breakfast and all that wasn't bad. Fridays they usually served fish, little square fish patty. I remember a guy telling me one time, he said, I'd never seen a square fish before. Well, I said, I'd never seen a cow shaped like a hamburger before either. What's your point? You know? But fish wasn't bad. Chicken on the we called it yard bird. The chicken, it usually seemed like it was real small, but it wasn't bad either. The things that were bad were things like chicken Alfredo, turkey al king, yakisoba, or whatever it's called, tetrazzini, Spanish rice. We'd have Spanish rice sometimes. Never even heard that until I got to prison. Sauerkraut out of the can, which some people liked it. I grew up with homemade sauerkraut. So the stuff out of the can, not only did it not look like sauerkraut, it didn't taste like sauerkraut either, not to me. So these are the things that people are dealing with. And now I heard people in prison are telling me, writing, telling me, and calling, telling me that it's gotten worse. And that I said, well, I believe it. They said, no, you have no idea how bad it's gotten. I really have a hard time seeing it getting any worse, unless the food that was halfway decent has gotten worse. But, you know, either way, you're not getting the calories, the food, you're not going to eat everything on the tray. So the best thing you could do to avoid all of this is just not go to prison. You know, just avoid all that, man. Because you don't want, it sucks. Food is not the only thing that sucks. It's just being in prison sucks too. Being away from your family, being away from the freedom here. You know, you guys, a lot of people, and I was one of them too, before I went to prison. Took a lot of things for granted. You know, one of the things I enjoy doing now is getting a cup of hot brewed coffee and walking out on the porch and drinking that cup of coffee. And I'm thinking, as I'm doing that, as I'm walking out on that porch drinking that hot cup of coffee, there's somebody walking outside their cell holding a cup of instant coffee, doing whatever he's doing, walking around, you know. So, just little things, riding in a car, and I ain't talking about riding in the car being shackled, riding in the car not being shackled, driving the car, all these little things. You know, next time you get in a car, just think about that. That is freedom, guys. That really is. Anyway, that's all I got for you. I thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.